But unfortunately,
it does feel sometimes like, what's the phrase? Throw as much shit at the wall as you can and hope that some of it sticks. It does sometimes feel like that because you got to try, you got to test it out. Yeah. But I think also what we're saying earlier, like the more you do it, the more you already understand what works, and your baseline starts a little bit higher, right? I already kind of know that this is not going to work, and it just gets better and better.
Right, hello. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Chatzzz, this is take 2 because I literally just forgot to press record. We have got a special recurring guest. Jack, welcome back to the podcast.
Good to be back for the second time saying this. Yeah.
I know, yeah, I messed up. Honestly, I don't think people appreciate how much time and effort it takes me to set this up.
Yeah, we've only got a very small office here, and we're taking up at least half of the entire room, so.
The thing is, when people are watching it, they'll probably think, oh, it's just a camera. They've got these mics or whatever. But you don't have to see me set up the laptop, the lights, the microphone.
And press record.
Yeah, and not record in slow-mo. But yeah, I think what we'll do today is just like recap what's happened since we last spoke, maybe last year, and the goals for 2024 and that kind of thing. And then if there's any back and forth in between, and just kind of free flow, really. Because I did one last week or earlier this week with James Hill. It's quite nice just have a more organic chat rather than me just interrogate you about your life and your business and everything like that.
Sounds good to me.
So yeah, what has happened then since the last time we spoke? It's probably been, last time we spoke with the podcast anyway, because you speak every single day. But yeah, what's happened in the last few months or last year in general?
Yeah, I think it must have been October, probably October time we spoke, because we did a little shoot, didn't we? November. Christmas is always a very quiet time for us. Like it's just like lockdown, batten down the hatches and just get through because it's so quiet. And January, start of the year, always busy. We had some big plans, put a lot of things in motion, didn't we? It's always busy, but it's never been this busy. It's been absolutely bonkers. So just chasing after my own heels most of the time. But yeah, great start to the year. Some really nice growth, and just right from a business perspective, really just trying to keep up with that and keep the momentum going, and see what we can do with the rest of the year.
Because for you then, 2023, like you say, what would you say, what did you start your goals as in like this time last year, and then where were you kind of at the end of the year? Where did you kind of think, oh yeah, we've done really well, or there's always room for improvement, isn't it? Or think, oh, I wish I did a bit more, or were you disappointed, or where did you kind of say really?
I think with 2023, after coming out a couple of years after COVID, we had to work so hard to get it to a point in which it was moving again. And like, I was very lucky when we started that we had a bit of a loan, so we had a bit of a run rate to get us going. But since COVID, we've had to make money to keep going. Whereas a lot of small, businesses that start with a loan and a bit of capital, that's just not the case. So 2023 really was a year of just consolidating, focusing on what works and making sure it's a sustainable business. And I think we demonstrated that pretty well. So coming out of that, really personally, just absolutely determined to smash this year for KMC, build a really nice team around us. I think we mentioned that in the last podcast, get the business in a position where it can support multiple people and, take that run rate, that sort of bottom line that's worked well for us for the last year, and just try to grow it in a sustainable way using the kind of marketing that we're working on together.
I think that's the thing though, like outside looking in for people just think like running a business is easy, isn't it? Like you're saying, people don't know what goes on behind closed doors, behind the scenes, the amount of like hours and effort you have to put into something to make it even just look decent, never mind like make a bit of money, isn't it? It's one of them things where I don't think people think it's easy, but I think the perception is like, oh, it's easy for them, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I agree. And we've probably both been in that position before as well, where you stood in front of, for example, we were at the NEC in Birmingham at the National Running Show, and people would quite happily stand in front of us and go, oh, look, you must be doing so well. You must have a team. Can I speak to your marketing department and so on? And like, you do make these assumptions. Oh, can I have all these freebies? You're here to do some promotion, and you ultimately like it was just me for a long time, and I'm sure it's been the same for you as well. You kind of make a perception because that person behind the business is working so hard to make it look so great and feel so great for the customers and give them the best possible. It's really easy to just assume that everything's cushy, for want of a better word.
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah. But that's one thing I noticed at the running show. My perception, I'd never been before. So like my perception was everybody's going to be giving out loads of free shit, but there wasn't actually that much free stuff that was being given out. But then when you actually like reverse engineer everything, like they are there to, they've invested a lot of money to have us stand there. Yeah. Invested a lot to bring staff, team, help,
Yeah.
whatever, bring product as well. You've got to make a little bit of money back or try and make a little bit of money in general, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, even at that point, like for us, like obviously small business have to try and pay for everything at least. And like, even at that point, when like I've got family members volunteering to help, my girlfriend, shout out to Rhiannon, who's an absolute hero.
Is that free or paid labour?
I'll be looking after her. Let's just put it that way. I don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Got to. She's an absolute star.
Yeah, she is, to be fair.
Yeah, and my sister's fiance Luke's also, big shout out to him. You know, we're a very small team, and you know, after paying for the event, which is very expensive just to pay for the amount of space that you need, understandably, because the running show is a fantastic event. You've got your hotels, you've got your fuel, you've got your van rental, you've got to, again, I still pay these guys, both of them. And then you've also got to pay for everything from parking, food, expenses, all that stuff, the time and effort it takes to just physically get all the products there, get it into a van, like booking a van for 10 a.m. to try and save money, booking it on the Friday when you're due to be building up your entire stand and stocking it all up at 4 p.m. and in the NEC at the other end, a van at 10 a.m. and stocking it all up and getting all that gear in. It takes a lot. And to be honest, by the end of that, even though we don't give away loads of free stuff, we do loads of sampling. Like you can taste everything. Even by the end of the event, you just about break even when it's a smashing event like that. But that's not what it's all about. It's about the longer term.
Yeah, but I think it's just good for brand, isn't it? Like it was cool for me personally. I think I've said in the past to just see so many people walk past, not even like speaking to you or Luke or Rhiannon or whatever, to be like, oh, there's Kendal Mint. Oh, I love their stuff. Oh, that's so cool. And it's just like real stuff and real feedback, even though like you get comments on Facebook ads and social media posts and that kind of thing. I don't know. It just feels, I don't know.
It's still like the online world is just quite a faceless environment. Like, you know, we've got a big presence on Amazon and our website, and like you like to think you can communicate with them and get feedback from them, but like everybody's busy. And you just don't quite realize how many people are actually using your products. And then when you go to these events, it does make it all worthwhile because you finally start hearing people talk about your brand and your products. And like you realize, and I said this at the event a few times, people coming up to us, like there'll be someone who says, oh, I regularly order your products from your website. And they'll say, what's your name? And you'll still recognize the name. Like you see there's certain names that come through on the orders on a monthly or weekly or quarterly basis, and you do recognize them. So it's nice to put face to names too.
Yeah, and just hearing the stories as well of like how they find the product, why they use the products, the benefits, and how it's kind of like, not that the products have transformed their life, but how they've gone from like, say, the starting point to wherever they are, like even if it's achieving the goals, if it's just getting up from the sofa and doing the first 5K or whatever. And it's just like, I'd imagine for you just to be a little bit of help on their journey, it makes a massive difference, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, ultimately, that is the brand, that is the origin of Kendal Mint Cake. It's the product that help people achieve their ultimate goal, the pioneering, the conquering of Everest, that kind of stuff. And it's nice to now be able to kind of take that same idea, that same concept, and like it could be, like you say, it could be any goal, big or small. So they love to share with you. And to be honest, it's because we ask so much at these events, like what you're doing this year, what are your goals, and to think that KMC can at least play a tiny part in them getting from where they are now to where they want to be at the end of the year. That's probably even bigger, even more rewarding than the feedback on the products and things, to be honest.
And then still on the topic of the running show then, so if people don't really know what the running show is, what is that kind of for you, and what is that kind of for the running industry as a whole, would you say? Yeah,
it's a big event now. Like when we first started, I think we went to one of their first events, and I think there was in the region of 15 to 20,000 people in a hall in the NEC. Like it feels quite corporate when you set up, because a lot of the big brands have like these huge stands and big teams building them for them. And it's grown, and we've kind of grown with it, which is nice. So it's a day of everything from meeting new like heroes and idols in running. Like Mo Farah was there this year, Dame Kelly Holmes, a number of different people mixed in with like loads of new brands, loads of cool new products, loads of speaking, loads of activities you can do, like people who've never ran before. It's probably a great time to like come and like just try out new shoes. Like shoes is probably one of the first things. Nutrition with us is probably kind of a little bit late down the line, but yeah, like it's probably the only time of the year when you can get everything running in one place. I think it was 30 something thousand people this year. They came up with a number at the end.
Yeah, because it's just, when you said to me, it's the largest running event, is it?
Yeah.
In the UK? And yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, the first time I was there, I was overwhelmed with how much different kind of running things and aspects there are, isn't it? From, like you say, from shoes to nutrition to accessories, clothing, whatever. And just, I don't know, it's more of like a community, I think. It's weird. Like,
what did you think of it compared to when you first came in? You had a thought.
Yeah. So the only kind of expo I really kind of can relate to and have been to before is the B2B Marketing Expo in London, XL.
Very different.
Yeah, we went.
Yeah.
I went years ago now, probably 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When I was first literally starting out in marketing, and yeah, that was very like corporate and very not so transactional, but more like it's business to business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like more serious. Whereas the running one, it was, I don't know, everyone was just like in high spirits. Everyone was happy. Everyone had like travelled from all across the UK to be there and stuff.
Pretty far as well.
We even met people from Carlisle who came down and stuff. And yeah, everyone was just happy to share the stories, and I think that was quite cool, because for me, dealing with business to business every day, it's very, I don't know, business focused, whereas when you're speaking to customers, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, it's I've been to a couple of the B2B events as well that, probably far less people, like, from a business perspective, like yourself and I, you hope that potentially the value of a transaction is much higher than a consumer, but the difference of this event is like it's tens of thousands of people, and they're all people who use your products. So yeah, the vibe is completely different. The energy is really high because they're all about to meet like their idols and discover loads of new stuff. And the running community actually is, it's a very upbeat community.
Yeah, and I've only recently got into my running journey this year, in the last month. But I've noticed, like, I've only done 2 posts about it. I've done a 10K and a 5K. Did 10K first and the 5K second, which is probably the wrong way around anyway. But the amount of like messages and stuff I get, it's crazy.
They're very supportive, aren't they?
Yeah, not like random people, but people that I wouldn't normally message or wouldn't expect to like even be seeing my post or caring about it. And it's like, oh, that's actually quite cool. You know what I mean? It is more like a community. Everything else that I've done in the past, like, you get likes or you get a few comments, but you don't get the private messages.
Yeah. I think from the like a fitness perspective, there are certain markets that can be quite egotistical and a little bit cliquey.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't look the best, then you don't get the best.
Gyms though. Like, I feel like that's like gyms is
I don't want to say it, but you did. Yeah, you can. The running community is super spot. Like, we've got and you should join if you can. We've got a closed Facebook group, Club KMC, and we literally just put in there, say, look, hey guys, please introduce yourselves. Like, what you're doing this year, what are your plans? Everybody starts jumping in, commenting, saying like, I'm doing a London Marathon. This is the first time I've done a marathon. Somebody else will jump in and say, oh, I'm doing my first one this year too, or I've done 7 London marathons, and this is what I do. Like, if you need any help, like, let's connect. You don't really get that from a lot of other communities.
Yeah, because there's no real like ulterior motive. I don't think even. Like, there's no, if I help you, you'll help me kind of thing.
Yeah.
That kind of thing, where it's just literally just sharing your knowledge and your tips and your tricks just to try and help people out, which I think is quite cool.
Yeah, I think it's apart, there's competitive side of it too. Those who compete to win, which makes sense. But then, like,
I haven't entered that realm yet. I don't think I ever will.
But I think ultimately most of the people who are doing these events, a marathon is something like you want to tick off. It's on your bucket list. You want to do it before you die. And ultimately, the only thing they're thinking is, all right, I'm here because I want to do that. I want to smash this. Yeah, maybe I want a PB. Yeah, I want to enjoy it more. I want to make the most of the moment, so I'm going to train well. Like, I've gained all this advice. I'm just going to share it because it's not going to mean they're going to get an advantage over me. It's going to mean they can achieve the same ultimate goal as me. That's what I feel anyway. I feel most people who are into marathons, they're doing it because, like, you can say you've done it. When you're 80 years old, you can look back and go, I gave it a go. So yeah.
I'm doing my half one just in October.
Hey, well, it's a stepping stone.
And then maybe
we'll be marathons by next year, won't we?
But I think it is cool. I've ordered my running trainers, so I'm going to get into it. I was meant to do a run with Jack tomorrow, actually, but I pied it off because I got to go to the Everton match. And what did you say? You said, oh, that's a good excuse, isn't it?
That's a fortunate one. Yeah.
I think, it's cool because I suppose, like, coming into 2024, like you said, you've set some big goals for yourself this year, and you've been off to a good start and stuff. What else are you kind of thinking for this year, for personal and business stuff? Because like we were saying, and some people may be able to relate, like, even though it looks like it's easy being a business owner and you can do what you want when you want, you can't. You have to put loads of time in, and you don't enjoy it as much as you should. So personal business, what are you kind of thinking?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I think you're absolutely right. And we're both still very young, like, now's the time to be doing it. But I think we're all very aware as a generation now too, like, we've got our heads down, we're grafting, and you do, like, if you don't just stop every now and then to look around you and like take it all in, you do feel like you're wasting away years, don't you? Or days or months, whatever it might be. But yeah, I'm going to have to ask you what your question was again now. I'm off on a completely different tangent there. Yeah.
No, I think because you're going away next weekend.
Yeah.
So I was saying like
personal goals and business goals.
Personal business goals 2024, because I don't know, I find it hard to self-reflect sometimes and think, oh, if I look back,
where do I want to be? Yeah.
2 or 3, I've done a couple of posts recently and it's like self-employed for 5 years. And I think when I first started out 5 years ago, I'd be like, fuck,
yeah,
I've actually done quite a lot of cool shit in the last 5 years, and you've done whatever. So yeah, for you, business and personal goals, where would you, what you kind of wanting to do this year, would you say? Work-life balance, is that a thing that you're taking into consideration, or?
Yes and no. I think it's a difficult topic, isn't it? Because it's a mindset. I feel that between being self-employed and being employed, I can see the benefits of being employed by a potentially big corporation or a big company, because you get that you get the freedom, you get the time freedom. But I feel being self-employed and wanting to build a business just like yourself, I think it's about a lot more than just the financial gain, and about any free time you get, because I feel now that I enjoy the thrill of it more than anything. Yeah. So from that perspective, like I'm just gonna absolutely go for it. And I think the one thing I'll say as well, that this year I feel that we've got a lot of competition. This is from a business perspective, but I don't think this might sound a little bit cocky. I don't think any of the competition are going to work as hard as me. I think if I see them working harder and I see them maybe they're marketing better than us or whatever it might be, I'm going to push to work harder than them. So this year kind of got a bit of a new energy about me for the business itself. And last year I burnt the candle at both ends. I did a little bit of traveling around and I enjoyed myself a bit more, which I thought was rightly so, because we've worked really hard for a good few years. But this year you're going to try and balance both. Do you know what? I think you find the longer you go on, like you find a way, you're able to do more. Like
your threshold, you get to a new threshold. Yeah, which is like a lot, and then you acclimatize to that. And then you go to the next one, don't you? Yeah,
you do things better. You do them more effectively, more efficiently, and like it's more that you end up with more time, and you can do the work better in a quicker amount of time. And I feel that you actually, like, a lot of people talk about like getting to a point where you can kind of sit back and the business runs itself. I think ultimately, like from a personal perspective, you find that you get to a point where actually you can just do so much more. And like I'm probably like when I started 4.5, almost 5 years ago as well. And I think you get to a point where you can just afford to do more. And like that when you can do things more effectively, it means you can then potentially take, like I am in a couple of weeks' time, just going to India for this wedding that we've got, my partner and I are going over there for a couple of weeks, and you feel that you can afford the time to do it. But yeah, at the same time, like we just mentioned before, like you kind of you don't want to lose track of what's going on around you. You want to still be able to enjoy yourself. But that being said, I'll still be taking my laptop with me. I've got unlimited data set up on my phone as well. So
I think you'll have made it when you don't take your laptop on holiday. I'm the same. I can't go anywhere without it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not to say that you don't enjoy like I'm sure you're good as well. Like I'm much better at time management now too. Like I will go, when we're there, I will make sure I make the most of every second of seeing all the sites and doing all these incredible things that India has to offer. And then when I need to, for the hour or two at the end of the day, I'll sit down and I'll just get the work done. So yeah.
That's how I was like when I went to Thailand. Yeah, I think I went 6 days, something like that.
Yeah.
And I took it and did like an hour in the morning and then an hour just to like check in to make sure it's not a shit show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it's about the thrill. I think it is the thrill. Like I wake up pretty much like every morning thinking, fuck, have I lost all my clients? Then I check my laptop and I'm like, oh, it's not as bad as I think it is. It's all right. And then you get on with the day. But it's the thrill. Like you fail so many times, don't you? But it's the thrill of that one little success and that one little like building block or that stepping stone to kind of achieving that never ending goal. Because for me, there is no ending point, is there? It's like you get to a goal and you think, oh, I'm here. What's next now?
Yeah.
You're on to the next thing, aren't you? It's just quite funny. Ask as well, personal, selfish point of view question is, how do you find managing business and a relationship? Because I've tried it in the past and it didn't really work that well. And I try to explain to girls now when I meet them, I'm a selfish person in the fact that
you put it first.
Yeah, that's my number one priority. Like if I'm not happy and focusing on that, then I'm going to be miserable and I will make you miserable. So that's like the non-negotiable in my life, that and going to watch Everest matches. Boring. That's less important. But yeah, how do you find managing that like work and then like the life balance? That's what I meant with work-life balance, like having a relationship. I definitely haven't mastered that. And I think
I haven't mastered it either. And Rhiannon will tell you the same thing.
Your quality time is taking us to the running show. That's date night.
Taking us to the running show, staying in the cheapest hotel we can so we can afford it. I haven't mastered it.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
How do you find balancing it or managing it?
It's tough. Like, it's really tough. We haven't got your typical relationship as well, so I'll put that out there straight away. But Rhiannon is one of the most supportive people you'll ever meet, and she does this. She's done it for years and helped me out all the goodness of her heart. So I really appreciate that. But like, it's just give and take. If my partner's going to come and help me, then I know that I'm going to do something in return to make sure that she, it can't all be one-sided necessarily. Yeah, it's really hard. But she, at the same time, I think what's helped with us is that we're both so career driven too. We've really enjoyed doing these things, like both so excited about going to India in a week, but we love our jobs too. She's very lucky that she's found a job that really supports her. Great team, but she's probably got, do you know what, she probably works harder than me. she's probably one of the few people I would say works harder than me. And she's just got that same work ethic. So I think we're very lucky that we match in that way. Although we both are very different people, we do match in that way. I can't give you the perfect answer for that. It's almost an impossible thing to manage, but we somehow do.
I think, like you say, it's give and take, isn't it? Because, like you say, if she helps you out, you'll do something for her, or help her out, and that kind of thing. And yeah, it's a funny one, because I've found, getting deep here, in the past, like, people would like the idea of me, like, from the outside looking in, but the reality is very different. You know what I mean? People might say, oh yeah, got their own business, do this, do that. But then realistically, when you realise I'm on my laptop like 12 hours a day, locked away and working to whatever time at night.
And they probably see, you've been away, enjoyed yourself in Marbella, and like you posted about, pictures of your pal Henry on there too. Like, they probably see that, think, oh, he's got a great lifestyle. Yeah. But actually, there's a lot more in between that.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. When I go to Marbella, I said to you in the past, like, I'll do exactly what I'm doing here, but over there, but just I'll go to an outdoor gym in the morning, maybe go out for food at night, but I'll still be on my laptop all day and not leave the house for 10, 12 hours, and Henry will vouch for that, you know what I mean? Because there's always a sacrifice, isn't there? It's a sacrifice to everything, whatever it may be. Like your personal life, you maybe do that. Well, I do less of my personal life. And because you have to do that, don't you? Like, I've stopped drinking and stuff. What would you say your like sacrifice, or you've had to make to make this work and get to where you are?
Definitely social life to start with, and then fitness for a little while, which didn't make any sense because Kendal Mint Company, this is what we do. So I've definitely picked that back up again. I've managed to find, I was going to say find time, but you don't find time, do you? Make time for it. You have to get up a couple of hours early or stay a couple of hours later at night. No, it's like, those are probably the two biggest ones. I think, do you know what? I think also something that I realized in the last couple of years, you just kind of, just off what you just said, like if you're thinking about like the ultimate goal, I think whoever the other half is, has got to understand the same concept, in that, like, you're not thinking about right now. Right now it's quite tough, and it is quite tough for my partner and I. Like, but in 5-10 years time, does that mean we're going to be really financially stable? Does it mean we're going to have a fantastic business that supports us both and potentially a family to do everything they want to do, and hopefully more? And then I think that once you kind of built that sort of system around you, and this is kind of what you're creating, you can benefit from it. Yeah, I think you got to, the way I think about it is think like 5-10 years time ahead. I never used to do that, but I just recently have started to.
Yeah, finding someone that aligns with your like mindset, isn't it? And like believes in you, I suppose that'd be important, because so many people would want to reap the rewards, but not actually
put the work in.
Yeah, be stuck in the mud with you, or
be stuck with it. Yes, yeah. There's a lot of years of struggle. Like, I mean, we're not alone. Like, there's so many small businesses out there trying to achieve the same thing. There's probably so many different podcasts as well where they're talking about similar stuff. But yeah, I think if you can stick it out and you can keep working as hard, and your partner can understand that, I think when you can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you've got to really just keep focusing on learning that, because there's going to be more and more hurdles that come up along the way, isn't there?
Oh, every single day, isn't it? Yeah. And that's what people don't think. They think it's, well, my perception is people think it's easy, but you have to deal with shit every single day. You have to find solutions to problems every single day, and there's nobody else to do it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wish you could employ someone to deal with all the problems.
It'd be nice to, I think that's the other thing about a 9-to-5 job, is that you can kind of go, oh, well, there's this big problem at work, but it's this department's problem to deal with. Like, it's been a bit of a knock-on effect on me, but I can go to bed at night, sleep. There's a problem at CJJ Media or KMC. It's like, nobody else is going to fix it. I've got to fix that, and it probably needs fixed now, really. Like,
sooner rather than later.
Sleep, so you just do it.
That's the thing. If you got a problem, you put it off later. It just messes with your head even more, isn't it? You just think, just got to do it now, get it over with, and move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But, let's turn to more positive stuff. I want to talk about winning awards. You've recently won an award.
Yeah, let's get there.
Yeah, let's get it out.
There we go. There's one of them.
Yeah, I don't know if people can see.
It's not very easy to see on a camera because of the light.
Yeah. Yeah. Sustainability in running award, Kendal Mint refillable and reusable gels. So right, let's talk about this, because this is going to be a massive product this year, isn't it? It's going to be huge. This is probably going to be most popular. I'm calling it now.
You're calling it now. I hope so. I hope so, because it aligns with what we believe in our business too, and from a personal perspective.
So let's give people a bit of context then. Of, if people don't know, what is like, obviously we've got the refillable and reusable gels. So normally when people run long distance ish, how far do you reckon people run before they take a gel? Like further than 5k or
further than 5k? Yeah. If you're talking up to a marathon, if you're running longer than an hour, marathon, half marathon, I think you're about to do the same thing I was about to offer to do. So if you get one off the second bottom shelf, and then at the top there's some flasks on the left, and then you got some gels there. Excuse us a minute. Yeah, if I tried to get out of there, I would have just fumbled it and knocked all of your podcast equipment over.
So these are the normal gels. I haven't tried the citrus mint one, but I've tried the raspberry one. Yeah. Remember I was at a services, because basically they're in every single services, aren't they? Road Chef. They have been in the Road Chef services. I would say 60-70% of them, at least most of the big ones. So yeah, they have been in there, which is great. Because I was at the one around Worcester and I was feeling a bit tired, and I was like, okay, let's buy one of these and try it. And it's really, really good. Well, as 4D runs would say, tastes like Calpol. It's good. It's because when people run, they'll tear these off, won't they? Go on, shall I show you? Yeah, go on. Yeah. So, stealing your thunder here. So, you know better than me. I don't know about that. The very first event we did, one of our biggest sort of sponsored events was, I think it was like Great Cumbrian Run or something. Like, this one's a bit damaged, so ignore that. Yeah. We finished the run and looked down, and all you could see everywhere was these little tops. And it's not even because people mean to. Like, they might just try and put that in the pocket, or they'll just tear it a bit and it just drops on the floor. And then the same with the full packet too. Often people have tried to shove them in the back pocket or something and they've just fallen out. But ultimately it's going to have to go in a bin. Like, this is not recyclable. So straight away, and actually, you know, speaking of partners before, big influence from Rhiannon too. So we're both really, really focused on sustainability, recycle, biodegradable stuff all the way. Rhiannon probably more so than me, but it's something I want to be in the business too. I want to build in from day one. And now these have really started to take off. So what we did, instead of taking these out with you, you take out one of the flasks that holds 2 energy gels in it. So straight away, you don't have any of this plastic waste. You just literally bite, squeeze, and you can take as much gel as you like. And you just keep one of these in your fridge at home. And it's already 70% less plastic. And you just top this up as you go. Take it home when you're finished and stick it in the dishwasher or hot water, and that's you good to go again. So, and the next stage will be 100% recyclable on the big patch. So yeah, these are what we won the award for. I think rightly so, because we managed to remove, upwards of 100,000 of these, our own, from the market by moving to refillable. So if you can imagine 100,000 of these just sat in the waste somewhere on the floor. It's a pretty big number for a small business like us. And hopefully we can move to get all of our customers to switch to this. That's the ultimate goal. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, we literally put in a really last minute, put in a little application. We got an email from the National Running Show about this award for sustainability in running. We thought, all right, let's stick our products in there. I think we deserve it. And just put the link out for nominations to like a few of our customers and followers and things. And like, it just took off. And then we got to a week or two before and got the email saying, look, you're on the shortlist. Oh, great. Yeah. And then on the day, and they told us we were going to need to be ready to go up in case we got it. So I was kind of like, maybe. And then the awards came, and every single one, it was like, these are just examples, they're probably wrong, but like huge companies like, oh, Garmin is the winner of this award, or Adidas, the winner of this award. And there were some nice small ones at the end, but then our name came up, got the awards. Yeah, it was unreal. It's the best recognition we've had so far. And then went off for the little interview they do afterwards, and they were like, yeah, it was every one of these awards was a landslide win. So yeah, huge for KMC. Really, really chuffed with that. So what was the feeling like then when you for you like first?
I was fairly confident, I'll be honest. You still doubt a little bit. I'll be honest, I was probably more worried that I was going to have to go up and say anything. Thankfully not.
You're a pro now on video.
Only with your help. I think, it just shows that what we're doing is the right thing. Gives us a bit of credibility, and it gives you a bit of motivation to keep pushing on, which is exactly what we're doing, and we're pushing hard. So
it must be nice just to get a recognition, like you say, being like, yeah, what I'm doing is right. Because I imagine the self-doubt in my mind, I don't know if it's self-doubt in your mind. Sometimes you think, am I doing the right thing? Is this the right thing? But then when you get something like that, you're like, oh shit, yeah.
Swift.
On the right path. Yeah, definitely. All the sacrifice and stuff to get that, like you say, the biggest running show in the UK is so like cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Especially surrounded by all these other big like
Big name
multinational brands and stuff like that. And then to see that, it's...
Yeah, we were absolutely chuffed.
So yeah, everyone needs to try the refill gels because people are loving them, aren't they? You said since the running show as well, these have been flying out.
They've been flying out, yeah. We deliberately make these easier, more affordable.
Yes,
we
yeah,
do lots
more
of
affordable,
offers.
aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah, they're about, so I think it's like 30 to 40% cheaper to buy the pouches per serve than to buy one of these individual things. Which is great. And there's been so many other benefits as well. Like for a start, you don't get sticky gel all over you because you can close it and seal it up when you want to. And then you don't have to take the whole gel in one go if you don't want to. You could sort of sip it over like the space of a few minutes. You're still going to get the same benefit. So you could sip it to one serve in the middle there rather than trying to gulp down a gel when you're on the move, which isn't very easy to do. Yeah.
How easy was it to like convert over or like start this then in the first place? Did it take a long time to put manufacturing, or was it just pretty simple being like, right, this is what I want to do? It's understood.
Manufacturing, like for example, these pouches already exist. So I'm not going to sit here and tell any fibs. These are really easy. So the product, really easy. The packaging, really easy. The difficulty is the stability of the product. So yeah, food safety standpoint, like we need to make sure we don't put too much gel in one pouch that the customer buys so that when it's opened, it's all going to go to waste. Okay. Because once something is open, that's when its shelf life starts to degrade the fastest because oxygen and so on and microbes. So that was the only really hard balance. And that took a bit of testing. Like when we first launched it, we launched one flavor and tested it out, and we just put 30 days because that's what that's what all the tests are sort of aligned to in the end, but you don't know until it's in the real world. If you can go any further than that, you can do sort of, it's like a stress test almost, like an environment you control to see how long it would last and see what potentially it could be like. So we did that and went for a very conservative 30 days, and then put it onto the marketplace. And now it'll last, if you stick it in your fridge, it'll last 60 days. And that's from testing. So yeah, that was the only difficult bit. And more companies are cottoning on, which great. Ultimately, we're just going to remove more plastic. So I've seen a couple of the bigger companies sort of copy the idea, which is, I don't really see it as a problem at all. I know most of the time, if you see somebody doing the same product as you in business environment, you think, oh God, well, they're going to try and compete with us now. And they're a bigger corporation, this one example, but ultimately it's still achieving the same goal that we want to achieve. So
yeah, no, it's cool. It's a good mindset to have, isn't it? And like you say, if you're doing anything right, you just expect people to copy you anyway, wouldn't you? Because if it's a good idea, and that forces you to come up with new ideas and completely to innovate and evolve.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't know it was a good idea, to be honest, because like most of the time you go into a shop and just buy one gel, right? Like you would just go into the service station and buy one. Somebody's got to commit to, there's 10 in here. Yeah. But 10 over 30 to 60 days isn't actually as bad as you think. No. Especially when it's that much cheaper and that much less plastic. So yeah,
way more cost effective.
Yeah.
So let's talk about videos. And like we're saying, you got up for the award and you're scared of doing a speech or doing whatever.
Yeah.
But you've recently started getting into videos, haven't you? Why did you want to get more involved? Like, as the face of the business, would you say?
I'm going to use a term you've used as well. I've heard you say it recently. Like, I was the bottleneck of the business because, like Adam says, it looks all honky-dory on the outside, looks great, but I'm still packing orders, or I was. I'm still doing all the admin, all the accounts, and the marketing, all in one place. So I am the one thing stopping the business from getting from where it is now to where I want it to be. So just literally testing a few of them and looking at other businesses and seeing how they do it. Like you just said, I hate speaking in front of people. I'm not a massive fan of it. I probably won't ever listen to this podcast. I'll get somebody else to and tell me if they think it's all right. I've started to give less of a crap though, because I can see that it's helping. So I realized that I need to put myself at the front of the business and drive it forwards with marketing, put my face out there, just get over yourself, Jack, and just do it. And it's like the way I compared it to you when we first started, and you've now seen it at the run show. When you're physically in front of somebody, I couldn't care less. I love speaking to our customers. It's one of the best thrills for a start, but also there's no better way of describing what you do, how your products can benefit them, and answer any questions or problems they have than actually being in front of them. And it's the same with video. You can take those same issues and put it into a video and help them.
Yeah, because it's like at the running show, even when we just capture some of the moments, isn't it? Like you're speaking to that person one-on-one, but if you capture that video, you can help hundreds, thousands of people with that same thing if they're in the same scenario.
And that interaction was just, like you say, just one-on-one, but then sticking in a video.
Yeah. And it's I get videos are hard, aren't they? And like it's out of people's comfort zones. The first one's always worse. Like you did really well with the first one when we did it over Christmas.
Yeah, the golden ticket. Yeah.
But it's like, especially if you're wanting to I feel like when you're growing as a business, isn't it? It's, for me personally, and I think you've said the same in the past, is it's cool to associate, follow people's journey, business owners' journey, because you feel like you know them. And then you think, oh, well, I knew them when they were at this point, and then I followed them for a year or two. And then at this point, that's cool. I've been part of that journey and that kind of thing. So putting yourself out there, telling people about the behind the scenes stuff, what makes you tick, all the kind of awards you win along the way and that kind of thing. It's just more relatable and inspiring.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at like the biggest brands and everybody always name drops them, like your Gymsharks and your Brewdogs and all that kind of stuff. That's exactly what they've done. And you always look and admire what they do and go, oh, that's such great marketing. That's such a great way to drive their brand forwards. But for that one thing that's stopping you is literally just being scared of being on a video to stop you from driving your business forwards makes no sense.
Yeah. So, and why did you want to do that first video then? Over Christmas, why did you want to do that? Because I'd been pushing you beforehand, hadn't I? Been like, look, you need to do it, you need to do it. And then over Christmas, you're like, right, fuck it, let's just do it. What do you reckon is the reason for that?
I'd seen where we could be sustainably for the year, and I'd sort of, like I say, spotted that there's a bottleneck somewhere and we need to like either go for it or just let it run as it is. And really want to go for it. 2024 was coming up, end of year, new me, you think about all those things, but it's just, it kind of aligns the same way. Yeah, I just thought like, if it's just me, my partner was there as well, Rhiannon, yourself, give it a go, and at least it's a way to see how I feel and see how the video goes and what the reaction's like, and it seems to be pretty good. Yeah, I just decided that was enough. Like, I don't care anymore about what potential negative feedback I might get, or what people might think of my voice, or how I think of my voice, my face, or whatever it might be. Who gives a shit? Just crack on, get it done, get it out there, and help people learn about your brand and what you do and how you can help them. So
I think it's hard though, like in general, when you get like a bad comment or two, that kind of, I don't know, I'm trying to think the right word to describe it, but it kind of just puts a negative or a dampener on that, whereas you think of the thousands of people that watch the video or like the video and not comment. You think they've actually really enjoyed it, found it valuable, entertaining, whatever. And then that one or two people, you think, oh, maybe I do look like a bit of a dick or I sound a bit shit, whatever. And really, that's two people who
are willing to comment.
Yeah, have taken time out of the day to watch the video and will be retargeted by it.
Well, I've got all that to come still. Right? I mean, I watch podcasts, listen to podcasts, watch videos regularly whilst I'm working and things. And like, you hear people talking about this. So I know that's still to come. But I guess it's the fear of that too, but hey, we'll see. Yeah. I don't think I'll let it. I'll just...
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, I watch hundreds of videos a day, probably listen to podcasts every day. I'll never comment anything on them.
Yeah.
But I still enjoy them.
You still really like them. You like the person, what they're saying, you're learning from them. You don't necessarily take the time out to go, this is really useful. Thank you. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a funny one anyway. But yeah, videos are powerful, aren't they? And I think the stuff that we got, the running show is really good, isn't it? With like the 40 runs one and some of the client reviews and that kind of thing. It's just, I don't know, just a way to push things forward. And it's just like, it's so underrated. Like, it's so underrated. I don't think people realize if you put your face out there, people do like it. Like, we've both got friends. They like us for whatever reason. Yeah. So you put yourself out there more.
Even there's only a few in my case, but yeah.
Maybe get a few more friends, but I don't know. Yeah, it's a funny one. So yeah, what have you got planned then for 2024 then? What would you say?
For the business or?
Yeah, both business and personal. Let's break it into two. People will be intrigued to know, and we can put it on LinkedIn and people will love it.
Another personal one. Business, we've got some big targets, which are pretty lofty, far more than we've ever achieved, over double the previous year, which, there's only 1 month to base it on so far. We're just on the 2nd of Feb today. We're on the track, which is great. We've got a big goal to move people to these refillable gels, like as much as possible. We want to try and remove the single use, which I don't know if it's completely possible quite yet, but it's we'll hopefully get it.
Yeah, it's just a small one.
Still makes an impact. Yeah. We've got a load of new product bundles and stuff coming on online. We've got a load of new team members, ambassadors, some really cool people I'm looking forward to introducing to everybody. We've also got one new product at the end of March. It's probably looking like the start of April now. That's great. We took that to the run show. The feedback was brilliant. Yeah, it didn't have a label or anything. We just told them what it was and asked them to taste it and give us feedback. And pretty much every bit of feedback was positive. So loved that. So that's definitely going in. We've got another new product probably coming in around summertime. I don't really want to say exactly what the products are yet.
No, you don't have to. No. Stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for more because they're cool. They're pretty cool. We've actually got, and I can say this one because it's live on the website now. We just launched some new protein shakers, which are coming in 2 weeks' time. They're really cool because they're like really low plastic usage, 100% recyclable. Like your classic shakers will have the ball and the mixer and stuff in there. It doesn't need that kind of stuff. So That's a really good one. Yeah, above all, just looking to grow our community. Do you know what? I'm hoping to maybe get our team and like community together for a few meetups, runs, rides, whatever it might be, gym, wherever we might be, and kind of get around. And then also for the gold ticket, kind of had a bit of an idea that maybe do a full vlog and sort of take it physically, deliver it to the person who's won it, because it is a big prize. So I think that could be a cool one.
That would be cool, yeah.
From a personal perspective, survive somehow with the rate we're going at the moment, which is great, and I really, really appreciate it. Keep as fit as I can. I was hoping to try and go to the Masters World Champs in swimming, so that could be fun. Yeah, somehow try and, do you know what, I don't know about you, but this year on a personal side, pretty much every other weekend is filled up with friends getting married.
That was me last year, yeah. Well, no, in fact, I say that I've got one next month, actually.
Oh, there you go. Well, we've got seven weddings this year.
Weddings? You've got too many friends, mate.
I don't know, my friends, some of them are Rihanna's friends.
Could you have a girlfriend then, yeah?
Yeah, you double it.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of free time spent there, but that's great, because like, you know, they are friends really. Like you're going to get to spend some. I can't be having my laptop out at a wedding.
No,
I don't think. Anyway,
who's that weirdo in the corner?
Yeah, so you're going to get to spend a lot of quality time with friends and family and things. My sister's getting married too.
Oh,
so that's coming very soon. So that's exciting. Seems to be the biggest event our family has ever planned. And it's all everybody's talking about.
It's exciting. You'll be getting pressured to get married next.
Do you know what I mean? Not the first person to say that.
And probably not the last.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Really just to stay sane and enjoy it, and enjoy the thrill of growing this too. So take a second, like we said before, just to step back and go, oh, actually done a lot. Yeah.
Like you said about documenting the gold ticket winner, which is actually, if anybody that buys a product from the KMC website gets a gold ticket, and then they can win £750 worth of KMC products, can't they, by the end of March?
So you can win up to £750 worth of our stuff, and it'll close on the 31st of March, and we'll announce the winner at 10 a.m. on the 1st of April. So it's a big competition. We've already had like thousands of people enter. Yeah, I'm hoping to literally take that crate full of £750 worth of stuff to the winner and deliver it to them. Yeah,
that's cool. And then I think just build your personal brand as well. I think that'll be a big one, won't it? And just document your journey of like the struggles, the successes, and that kind of thing. That'd be quite cool, because I would be interested. I'm sure loads of people would be interested as well.
We'll see. Well, we might find out in a year's time if they're interested when we do another one of these. So.
We'll have to
might have flopped.
Yeah. Because like you said to me, which business owners do you follow then on social media? And do you like watching the journeys of? Because you said Brewdog before, but is there anybody else?
Yeah, I do quite like Brewdog. Get a lot of stick. You know, and they're not perfect. None of us are. We've cocked up as well before.
I think it's good to be polarizing though. It's either good to be liked by someone or hated, because then at least someone's got a strong opinion on you that they've kind of made the judgment. Whereas if you're in between it, I feel like then people, you're not really known, or people don't really care, because it's like, oh yeah, he's sound. But then if you're like, oh, I really love that he does this or that, or I hate that he does this or that. Like,
absolutely, yeah. So it's what do they say? All PR is good PR. But do you know, I'm just going to take Brewdog as an example, because I have been quite into them for years, and I quite like the zero alcohol stuff now too. I just like the fact that they are a bit more focused on sustainability. They get a lot of stick. They are focused on sustainability. They're quite literally planting a forest, which I've helped with a tiny bit. Hopefully, I've helped add to, and I love that idea. The other thing is they get a lot of stick about their wages, the company culture, all this stuff. I'm like, it's a fast growing business, like a big business, and like, it's almost no surprise that at some point something's been neglected, because it's hard to balance all those things. But the way the main guy, I think it's James Watt, tends to deal with it, I admire. I think it's been a bit, you always do this because you think, well, how am I going to handle these things in the future? And you kind of watch them to learn, don't you? But it's like, okay, there was a big thing about the wages and the way they handle things. And then he decided to go, right, every single bar gets a profit share. So not only do they get paid, they get a profit share from their bar.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So they get another cut of what would have gone into the Brewdog company, which is fantastic. And then they did there's been a whole piece on like the living wage recently with Brewdog. But it's the news again. The news just didn't take into account the fact that they're also getting major part of the profits, which is really cool. Don't quote me on all of this exactly, but I just like the way that you can learn and adapt to them. I think I kind of look up to it a little bit. I don't think it's perfect. I don't think the business is perfect, but yeah, when you watch these people online, you definitely buy into it more. If anything, sometimes when you see the bad press and then you see the way they react to it, all the sort of diehard and hardcore followers end up buying more, don't they?
Yeah.
Because they want to support it, because they know potentially either the truth or maybe it's not the truth, but they still support them so much.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's just the way the world these days, isn't it? Like this brand represent that I'm wearing now. the owners are two brothers, George and Michael Heaton, and they like document that they go and like runs and stuff. Like he works out like twice a day and he's really fitness focused and driven and that. And then he's got like £100 million business and stuff like that. And I think, fuck, if he can do that, all of that stuff, why can't I do like a small percentage of that? It's like more motivating and stuff. So it's cool. I like wearing brands that, because I feel like I know them, you know what I mean? Even though you don't have a fucking clue who they are, like they don't have a clue who you are, but you follow the journey, you think, oh, you know. And like the pants that I'm wearing now, the Manny Devoir, they're under Reece Robara. He used to be like an ex-footballer and he partnered with a Gymshark guy, Lewis Morgan. And then he started off with like tracksuits and then he's gone into more like fashion and stuff. And yeah, it's just cool for me because it's inspiring, isn't it? And motivating, seeing people further ahead and thinking, fuck, if they can do it and they've been wherever.
Because they've documented, you can see where they started to where they are now. Yeah.
That's what I mean. And it's just, I don't know, it's cool. Rather than just thinking, I imagine some people say, oh, it's all right for them, they're rich, they've got whatever business and stuff. You think, oh, well, what sacrifices are they making?
Yeah.
And what struggles and problems have they had along the way? How they overcame that? And what like little bits, snippets of their life and advice are they giving out that I could maybe, because like you say, you don't take everything from people, do you? You think, oh, maybe take that and I could apply that. Oh, I don't really like the way they do that and do that.
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Everyone's different, aren't they? If everyone's the same, boring.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. It is good for inspiration to then also. It's a great point. Like you look at some of the marketing strategies they have and like you go, oh, we can do a version of that in our business there.
Oh, you got a phone call.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like looking at other businesses that have got bigger budgets and stuff, you think, oh fuck, that's so good, but maybe we can't do it just like that. Maybe we can adapt it and do it whatever way we can do it in the short term and then build it up over time. A lot of people I feel like want to go 0 to 100 in one go, don't they? Rather than 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4.
Yeah.
And it's boring, isn't it? Everything takes time, you know what I mean?
Do you know what, there's a guy I watched and recently listened to a lot more, and like he seems a bit intimidating from the outside, but it's huge in the US. In fact, it's huge just generally now. Alex Hormozy.
Yeah.
And he always says, like, instead of it being one silver bullet that gets you from A to B, I think he calls it 100 golden BBs. So loads of little different things, little ideas, little strategies that all add up to be the one big piece that is your business. I really like that analogy because that's the truth. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You don't just come up with some magic solution and you go, oh God, I'm a millionaire now. Like, whoa, look at that.
I wish it was.
All these tiny bits. I know. Like you traveling over the country, doing podcasts to try and get new clients and also spreading the word and just building your own personal brand, but then still managing to produce all these quality videos. And then, you know, for myself, like I'm still in a warehouse packing boxes, still making products, still trying to do the marketing. There's all these different bits and pieces all add up to create the package that is CJJ Media and KMC. There's never been one magic solution, has there?
So, and that's the thing as well. You don't know what the right thing to do is either, do you? There's nobody telling you what you should or shouldn't do. You just kind of have to do what you think is right.
Yeah.
Maybe your experience or from what information you've consumed and think, all right, it might not be right on the correct path, but at least I'm navigating in the kind of right direction and I'm getting there or thereabouts. Because that's what I mean. If there's one magic solution, everyone would have done it. Everyone would have tried it, you know what I mean? But unfortunately,
it does feel sometimes like, what's the phrase? Throw as much shit at the wall as you can and hope that some of it sticks. It does sometimes feel like because you got to try, you got to test it out. Yeah. But I think also what we're saying earlier, like the more you do it, the more you already understand what works, and your baseline starts a little bit higher, right? I already kind of know that this is not going to work, and it just gets better and better. So
it's a funny place at business world, but like I wouldn't have it any other way. I mean, it's cool, and I think it's one of them things for me. Like if I didn't do it, if I didn't give him all, I'd always regret it as well.
Yes,
and I would never want to get to. I know we're both approaching that 30 number sooner rather than later, but like mine was always, I didn't want to get to 30 and think, oh, I wish I could have done a bit more.
Yeah.
Or I regret going on that night out, or I regret doing whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, me sacrificing whatever to try and get there. At least if I get to 30, and hopefully I will, alive, and I think, oh shit, yeah, I've done all right. And I couldn't have tried any harder, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas it's hard to balance your life.
Here's one for you. So when you get to 30, then what will it be? When I get to 40?
I think for me, like, I'm happy being single right now.
Yeah.
Because how long have you been with Rhiannon for now?
7 years.
Yeah. She's been pre, during, and now.
She's seen it all. Yeah.
Which is quite cool.
Yeah.
Whereas for me now, I think having somebody come into my life.
They've not seen what it's taken to get to this point.
Yeah. And they don't appreciate, like I did the post yesterday, I think.
You've like registered?
Yeah. But like me, when I was in Cardiff, moving back home in COVID, starting my business again by myself in the June 2020, like waking up at 5 every morning, no clients and no money, just trying to message people, trying to sell Facebook ads and shit, and nobody caring. And then signing a couple of clients. And then when I went down to see Yoni in Cardiff, and he was like, I'll do the content, you do the social media, and signing a couple of clients on like literally no money at all. And then just like getting by and then building up slowly over time, clients leaving, signing clients, and then getting to like now where I feel like, oh yeah, it's a proper business. And then people coming into my life now and thinking, oh, it's all right. It must be easy. Make it look easy, make it sound easy and stuff. Whereas like, it's been a lot of struggle. And they said this struggles, you know what I mean? I'm a fucking millionaire, whatever.
Yeah.
But it's all right-ish. It's just like, yeah.
I bet when you started though, like the amount of work you were putting in, if you met anybody, the amount of work you put in at the time probably showed in your personality when you met them a little bit.
Yeah.
You maybe seemed tired, you seemed a bit stressed and stuff. But I think the thing now is that people will assume it's all going well because you know how to put on this calm, sort of composed person.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But ultimately you probably find a lot of fires still.
Yeah.
Although it's got a lot better, you're still probably doing as much work, if not more, but you're just very good at managing it.
Yeah.
That's my assumption. That's how I feel.
Yeah. No, I can relate to that 100%.
Yeah.
You just get used to it, don't you? And would you think like, Stephen Bartlett uses this analogy. Do you feel like you're being driven or you're being dragged in this journey?
Driven? Yeah, I'm driven.
Feel like you're driving?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm just being dragged along at the moment. Yeah. I just feel like I'm just going and going and going. There's just something that's just like carrying me along to just keep on.
I see what you mean. I probably would have called that driving you along.
Yeah, whereas driving, I feel like driving, you're fully in control. You know exactly what you're doing and you think, right, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. There's obviously aspects of that. But especially at the moment, I just feel like shit's going on and I'm not in control of it. Like, yeah, I am in control of like my own destiny, my own journey, but I'm not in control of like all the shit that's going on. Like, even January, I think you're being dragged because you're like, fuck, what is going on? You know what I mean?
No, you're right. I hadn't understood the concept fully there. No, so probably do feel like I'm being pulled along a bit, but then also I know where I want it to be. That's always in the background there. Yeah. And I know better now than when we first started. But yeah, when it's, what was this? when this, you make hay when the sun shines, like, and you've got to like, it's really like, we're going well now. If it's the first time ever where it's gone this well.
Yeah.
And you've somehow just got to like, all this pressure's on in the background, but you just somehow keep pushing it. I'm assuming that's kind of the same idea.
It's like you've got everything going on and you're just trying to drive the car in like a massive storm. You're thinking, right, this is the right way, but there's fucking trees falling down, there's hailstones and everything. And you just think, fuck.
That's an interesting, I've never heard that concept before. Listen to that.
I think it's interesting because like people listen to this podcast and people listen to the podcast and see whatever on social media, I think they've got their shit together. They know exactly what they want to do in life. They know exactly the path they're on, which is very different, you know what I mean, than what I'm doing, because I know what I want to do within reason, but I don't have a fucking clue what I'm doing, you know what I mean? I'm just doing what I think I know is best.
Yeah.
I know it works-ish, and then just got to keep on going, you know what I mean? Whereas everyone's trying to figure it out. And that's what I thought when I was younger as well. These business owners were like on some pedestal and they were like special and I don't know, there's something about them, but everyone's just a normal person, aren't they? Just trying to figure it out and just doing what they think's best. There's no one who knows exactly 100% what's the right or wrong thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a funny old world.
We're all human beings at the end of the day. We're all the same. And I think similar issues. But
I think people forget that though, don't they, as well?
Yeah.
Hey. But yeah. Any closing thoughts? We've been going on for an hour now, to be fair. I don't even know what we've talked about.
I was just going to flip a question on you quick.
Oh, yeah, go for it. That's what more people have been doing these days. Yeah. It's not my podcast, it's your podcast. But yeah, feel free. Any questions you can ask me as well, yeah.
No, I mean, I want to know as well. So CJJ Media and yourself, go on. What are CJJ's goals this year? Yeah. And what are your own?
I literally said this on the last podcast as well, so everyone's going to get bored of it.
Nah, you got it.
No. I think business is just more of the same of what we're doing. And now I feel like there's two types of clients that I really like working with. One's your e-commerce, that kind of thing.
Also say that.
Yeah. Don't sack us. No, e-commerce is one thing that we're really, really good at now.
Right.
Because I feel like a USP that we've got within our business is we will come up with a plan or a strategy. We will come down to film the content as a team, not just like send a videographer, a photographer, whatever. We will edit the content to how we think's best and with the client's feedback. And then we'll either post it, run the ads, retarget, and then also we can do the email marketing as well. So it's kind of like a all-in-one package that we're really, really good at. And then I feel like my relationship with clients, I build like a friendship. Like
Yeah.
We speak every week, don't we?
No, definitely. Yeah,
and stuff. And I get to learn more about you or businesses as a whole of what makes them tick and what they want. Because at the end of the day, even if I propose X video ideas, it may not be on brand or what you want. I don't want to tarnish someone's brand, you know what I mean? I want to be able to fit in and work together as a team. And I hope that, and you answer this question, but I hope that we work together and work as a team, and it's like an extension of your team, that kind of thing, not just like we're working together and this is the way we work. Even though I've got some kind of systems and processes, like I like to work on Slack, so I've got everybody in my team, the clients in places, and we have and whatever, but hopefully it's an extension of the team and we're working together to achieve the same goal. Because at the end of the day, I want my clients to make more money, otherwise you won't fucking keep on paying me. You know, to say live.
No, I would agree. You do feel like an extension of the team, and I think that's a hard thing to get. I suppose my other question would be like, so from that perspective, and this isn't like a trick question as a business owner, as a client of yours at all. This is like, I think like one of the best things you guys do is that like I feel that the businesses need that extension, and I think that extension at the moment is your brain and your ideas, because they always go, well, for us it's really helped kind of, every time we have a meeting we just bounce ideas, again, throw as much shit at the wall and hope it sticks, and like some of them do stick and we go with them. How do you reckon, because you're still getting down to the shoots, you're still meeting the clients in person, like that's a lot of time, a lot of work. How do you reckon you're going to balance sort of going forwards as you grow? Do you think that's something you'll be able to keep? Or do you think?
I want to keep it. like I had a meeting with, an online meeting with like a social media guru expert thingy. He's way further ahead than me and stuff. I had this conversation. He was asking how the business works and that kind of thing. And I said that I meet the clients every week, half an hour to an hour, whatever. And then I go to every shoot as well, because I want to direct and that kind of thing. And he's saying, oh, well, you should be meeting clients every other week or something, or every month. I can't remember what he said. And then they should be paying you like $1,000 extra per shoot for me to be there. And I was just thinking, yeah, that's all right for you to say, because you're way further ahead and stuff. But like for me, I feel like that's the benefit, because I enjoy speaking to the clients, especially where I'm at. It's like not me trying to be further ahead than where I am. It's me knowing where I am and what we're good at and what works. Yeah. Because for me, building relationships is the most important thing. Yeah. Because I'm not like, to sign a client is easy to get and pay you for 1 month, but it's hard to keep and get them to come back month to month to month.
As we both know, a one-time customer doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But so for me, like I would always, for the foreseeable, want to do the weekly meetings and be on the shoots, because that's like contact time. Because I feel like in the past when I first started out, we wouldn't have weekly meetings, and like any little niggly problems, then when we did have a meeting every month or whatever, it builds up and it becomes a big problem. Whereas now I feel like, and you've said it to me in the past as well, other agencies, you see bigger than us and stuff, it'll take days to reply, or if you message them, they won't get back, or they don't
have to go through a team home to management and so on. Yeah.
And that kind of thing. Even though we've got a small team and stuff, like I'm the one who's kind of orchestrating everything at the moment. Yeah. And building the relationships that I know exactly what they want. So if there's anything that goes wrong, it's down to me. It's not down to anybody else. You know, it's down to my poor communication.
Lots to take on there. Yeah.
Yeah, it is 100%. And I don't know how many clients we've got at the moment, like 10 or 12-ish, maybe something like that. But I'd like to think that every client, you know better than me, that it feels like I'm 100% dedicated to them. And it's not like, oh yeah, I'm too busy to speak to you because I'm speaking to somebody else. Yeah, there is times and places where I'd be like, oh, I'm on a meeting, or I'm doing this, but everybody still gets that reply, that weekly meeting, whatever else they need. I'll try and accommodate that. And I'd always want to go to the shoots, because that's the only time for me to meet them in person and spend that time with them, build the relationship and just understand them. Because even though you do a Zoom call, you kind of get a sense of somebody and what's it like. But when you're in person, you can have that banter, see how sarcastic they are, how crude the jokes are, and all that kind of shit, and what makes them tick. And that's what I'd always want to do for the foreseeable, and nowhere near changing that, because I think that's what people like as well.
Yeah, and I would say so. Like, I think I can see it from your perspective as a business, and I can see it sort of what's working for us is the quality and ideas. And then obviously, if you're on a shoot, you can, something's not been like, it all looks great on paper and on plan. You might have had a meeting with whoever's doing the video. I know Yoni is fantastic anyway, but yeah, how you get those ideas across. And I would understand us in the future as a business. Like, if it's something you were going to try and like really scale, then you end up with a sort of a system in place, which is harder to manage. But yeah, I think the quality that you put in and the time is the biggest selling point to us. Yeah, this isn't me like
no, that's fine. No.
You better spend more time with us or else.
No, but no, for me, it's like the service we provide, for the price point, it's really good value for money. And that's just my opinion. You know what I mean? And like, I'm dealing with lots of different businesses in different industries. And like I say, e-commerce is one and watch shields is the other. They're the two ones that we're really, really good at and we want to focus on. E-commerce, we've mainly the paid stuff that hopefully will get started soon. And then the watch shielders organic stuff, which just fucking flies, and we're really good at that. So they're the two main things. And for me, it's just consolidating what we're good at and just realizing what we're good at and focusing on that and just being really good at them rather than us trying to do other things now. Because I feel like 2024,
focusing on your niche.
Yeah, we know what we're good at. And like, what is the point of us trying to do something different and just being confident in our product? And for new clients, if someone else is on a more affordable package, like, they showed the belief in us to take the risk. Whereas now, we've got the proven track record, we've got the results. Just to say,
and that's when things start to get a bit easier as well.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And then if people are paying higher retainers, but you know you're going to get what you want. Whereas people in the past, they've taken the risk. Yeah, you get it more affordable, but you've shown that trust and belief in us. So you'll reap the rewards in the future, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So that's really for the business and just being focused on that. And obviously there'll be things that come along on the way and we think, oh, it's a good opportunity, we'll maybe do that and stuff. But they're the main two really, because as a package, I don't really know, I may be wrong, there probably is stuff out there, but I don't really know anybody that's doing what we're doing with the quality and the time and attention to detail. Because like I say, on the shoots, I'm really selling myself here, but
you're just telling the truth.
Yeah, on the shoots, we'll come up with the plan, won't we? We'll come up with the pillars so we know which videos work and which ones don't. Because there's no point, I say it all the time, but if we were to create 30 videos in one go, 24 to 30 videos, however many videos it is, some of them work and we're like, all right, that's worked, great, why? We're like, oh, maybe because of this, maybe because of that. But at least if we kind of group them together into the pillars, we can say celebrity works really well, or tips and tricks works really well, or interviews works really well. Let's do more of them.
You're sharing your structure there with your competitors for free.
Honestly, I don't give a fuck because nobody's as good as us. And then we can really scale what works better and then pie off what doesn't and try something new or improve it.
Yeah.
So on the shoots, obviously, like we come up with a plan, but there's always going to be like ad hoc stuff off things that we think,
let's do that. And has been with us.
Like the running show.
That would look great. Let's try it.
Yeah, running show, nightmare, because we had the plan and I was doing the clipboard and trying to write them down. I didn't even write them down. And then Zishan's like, which ones to edit? And we're like, we need to get these urgent and stuff like that. But there's always like little things that if it was just a videographer and not me and Yoni, like
they just stick to the plan.
Yeah. And like they might be overwhelmed or they wouldn't care and that kind of thing. Whereas even though you speak to me every week, you always see me and Yoni every shoot. Yeah. Because other agencies, and I know they do, they'll just get the cheapest photographer, the cheapest videographer. Yeah. And it's a different person every time. And it's just like the extension of the team. You feel like you know them, you build the relationship with them. You have the banter and that kind of thing. So it's just business-wise, keep doing what we're doing because it seems to be going well. Yeah. We're heading in the right direction.
And what about you?
Personally, I think I would like to spend more time in Marbella. Because I've got Henry there, a couple of friends over there now. Hopefully get a couple of clients over there, which would be quite nice. If I can do. So obviously some of my friends have got businesses, so hopefully start with them and do that. And for me, when I'm over there, I'm much happier and more myself. I'm more motivated, surrounded by that kind of people. Whereas like when I'm here, even though I love my friends to pieces and have so much fun with them, it's just less motivating. I don't know what you find.
No, I agree. Like if I've got a really good pal called Sahil. He works at Facebook and like I've been to the environment that is Facebook and just the Googleites, as you like to call them, are all the same people. And like this is in Dublin, in the central business district there, and the pace and the speed, the way people talk, the motivation, the way they operate is on a completely different level. And when you're in that environment, you feel like you can do so much more because the energy is matched. Yeah, the speed, like the speed at which you will operate increases, and that's hard to. We're in quite a rural area, right? And it's hard to find. It's just, I guess it's a sacrifice for not living in a major city, doing what we do. But I can completely understand that.
So trying to split my time a bit more. But like I say, I'm buying my first property. I mean, it was aiming to be in 10 days time, but it's being pushed back. Get a new car when that's all sorted as well. But like that's why I like speaking to you. Yeah. That's why I like speaking to you because we're same age, being to the same school. And it's motivating and it's inspiring, you know what I mean? Surround yourself with people on similar kind of journeys, even though different businesses completely, but similar kind of goals and ambitions. Which is mentality. Mentality. It's inspiring for me. So just surrounding myself with more than people, and there's a lot more people in Marbella than there is around in Carlisle, unfortunately, but it's just the way it is. There's so much more money over there as well. It's just like, not that money's everything. Obviously, everyone's in business to make money. Shock. But it's just like, that kind of thing. So buy a property, get a new car. And then I think I'm more open to having a relationship. I say open, but I feel like last year when I did have one, I felt like I was ready. I don't think I really was.
Right.
Whereas now I feel like I do potentially have more openness to it.
Right.
Openness, if that's a word. But I feel like they would have to fit into my life.
Yeah, it's hard.
Like, just slot in.
You kind of go in with that expectation that they're going to need to.
And that's why I pre-warn people saying like, yeah, I'm selfish in the fact that I've got my goals and my ambition. And that's number one priority. And if you want to slot in, that's great. Not that like anybody should ever slot in because there's compromises each way, isn't there?
Yeah.
And there's give and take. But like I've got my own shit that I want to achieve before you came along. And it's still...
It's going to be there.
It's not negotiable, you know what I mean? So if you understand that and you believe in me, I always say to the girls, I sound terrible today. I would investment, you know what I mean? I'm not the finished product right now, but hopefully in 5 to 10 years, like you're saying, you'll reap the rewards.
It's funny you say that. It's what my father said to my sister's fiance. You're not the finished product yet.
Is that a good or a bad thing?
I shouldn't be saying that. Sorry, Luke. You're a top lad.
But yeah, that's what I say to people. I just try and be brutally honest as well. Yeah. Because outside looking in, you think, oh yeah, it'd be nice, but probably not as nice as it seems. So yeah,
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah. And I'd rather be honest with people than lead them on false promises and then it's like, oh, such a dick or whatever, or why are you doing this and why are you doing that? Because I think for me, dating is hard in your 20s because everyone's at different spaces of their lives, aren't they? Like not that you're lucky, but it's convenient that you've been together 7 years, so you've seen each other at different stages. Whereas for me now, some people are partying, some people are working, some people have got babies, and you think, where's everyone fit in?
Yeah.
So I think I'm more open, but I'm not that bothered either way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to focus on myself and just
what will happen will happen.
Yeah, and I think that's good. Not trying to. But like for me, if I try and fixate on things too much,
you put yourself in a box.
And I'll be disappointed in myself. Whereas if it's more like, oh, I'd quite like to do this, I'd quite like to do that.
Yeah,
be fine. But don't get me wrong, if I don't get my apartment, I'll be gutted.
It's a big step in your life. That's a big one.
Yeah, and it's quite cool. And like I say, the sacrifices that I've made, drinking stuff or whatever, and less social with my friends, and that hopefully that's like, all right, yeah, that's a good step. Because it's, believe it or not, in Carlisle and Cumbria, if you don't know, it's cheaper to buy a house than it is to rent a house. So
far cheaper.
Yeah. So in the place that I'm getting is affordable. So if I want to travel and stuff, I can still afford to pay it and travel. I wouldn't have to rent it out anyway, which is ideal for me at the moment. Because tangent here, but for me, I don't know about you, but I want to keep my expenses as low as possible, especially personal expenses, because I always think of the worst. Like if I have
what's going to happen in the business tomorrow?
Yeah. So if my business failed and everyone left, could I afford to pay this? Yeah. Whereas if I wanted to get something more expensive and a bit nicer, not that mine is, have I shown you pictures of mine? I'll show you after.
Yeah.
Mine's nice, don't get me wrong, but I could get nicer. But if I wanted to get nicer, I'd have to pay more. And then I'd be thinking, well, if I wanted to spend more time in Marbella, would I have to rent it out or whatever?
No, you can manage that.
Now I'd be like, oh, well, yeah, I can still afford to pay it and still travel and not have to worry about that, because money is like a stress, isn't it, at the end of the day? Because you think, because unfortunately, if I show up for work, doesn't mean I get paid. I still have to do that. So yeah, it's just figuring out what works for me. And hopefully this year, the kind of things that I'm kind of wanting to do, I will do. Because I don't know, are you a big New Year, New Me goal setting kind of person or not?
I haven't really been traditionally, no, but I think with the business, it's a big part of the way people get involved with us at KMC is they set themselves these big targets, possibly at the end of the year or whenever it might be, and then they get involved with us. So I've kind of got into it a little bit more. Why? What you?
Me, not personally, because it just rolls over for me. I just think my goals are my goals and I still want to achieve them. And it's a fresh start and I get why people do it and stuff. But for me, it's just like, I know what I want to achieve and that's what I want to do next. And that's what I kind of do. Whereas I get it. And as well, another thing, half marathon in October. And also, I think I might do one in April in Ibiza. So my friend Henry and his friends, Holly and Ryan, they're doing the one in Barcelona next weekend.
Oh yeah.
I did actually let it slip on the last podcast. It's going to be out on Sunday, but I'm going to surprise him over there. So hope he doesn't listen to the last one or this one. No, this one will be out when I'm there.
I was about to drop that, then I went, no, maybe not.
Because originally I was meant to get my flat then, the 12th, which is the marathon on the 11th. So I was like, I won't do it. I didn't have enough time to train. So the next one's April, so I think I might try and do it then. It should be quite cool. And then do the one in October in Cardiff. But yeah, I think apart from that, that's pretty much it. What about you? What?
Just a few.
Yeah.
Just a few little goals there.
So
big ones.
I don't really see them as goals. I just see them as just like...
It's a step things, stage, yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel like they're just going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen no matter what. I don't know. And no goal for me, I don't think, isn't achievable. I think maybe I've always been a bit delusional or overconfident, or some people might say arrogant, in the fact that whatever I wanted to do, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I don't really care what people say or think. Like, I just feel like I should be able to do that stuff no matter what. But the thing is, yeah, you can think that, but you're going to put in the work to get there. And I know I will, you know what I mean? I've been one of the people, I've always been quite naturally gifted at stuff, but still, to be the best, you have to put the work in, don't you?
That's it. Yeah, to be the best, you have. I always say this because I coach swimming as well. It's hard to find somebody who has a natural talent, but is also willing to put in the effort. Yeah.
And I was saying this the other day, and it's like, I hate losing. Or I hate not being the best at stuff, no matter what it is. If it's going on a date with a girl, bowling or whatever, or playing 5-side football for fun. Like, I always have to win or always have to try and be the best. Otherwise, I'm not like I don't want to just take part, you know what I mean? And if I do lose, I'll just play it off like I wasn't even trying anyway. But
yeah, I'm exactly the same, Adam, honestly.
But I think you don't have to, but I think it's important to have that mentality. Otherwise, you won't keep on trying to improve and innovate and that kind of thing. But that's just me personally. And I'm self-aware enough to know that's my personality trait. So try and feed into that. I think helps me. I always strive to be better and be the best because, like you're saying about the refill gels and stuff, you've got a good idea. People are going to try and copy. Same with the videos.
Yeah.
People try and copy the same style videos. We'll always try and come up with new styles or whatever, take inspiration from people to try and be further ahead, to invest in better equipment.
Yeah.
And better hooks, better information and all that kind of shit. But
it's also, always remembering that it's not always going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Like you say, it's probably going to fail at some point. And that probably going to come up with loads of competition, something go wrong.
Yeah.
And just being able to deal with that. Yeah.
And it's just coming up with a solution to be better, isn't it? And just to get back to being the best, because you can't always be the best, unfortunately. But if you can try and strive towards it, then I think you're onto a winner.
We got deep in the last one as well, didn't we?
I know, fucking hell, right? We've been going an hour and 20 minutes now, right? Let's. Where can people find you? Follow you, plug all the stuff.
So
I really know.
You can find us online, pretty much everywhere, most places. So our website's kendalmint.co.uk. You can get us on Amazon with Prime. You can get us next day delivery. You can find us on socials at Kendal Mint Co. Yeah, we're the green Kendal Mint Archer. Look for that one.
Where can people find you on personal social media? LinkedIn?
Not quite ready for Instagram yet, but LinkedIn is just Jack Barker.
Yeah.
Jack Barker on LinkedIn.
Going to get you on the Instagram this year.
Yeah.
Right, everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment your favourite part. Any questions for Jack, leave them in the comment section below. If you listen on Spotify, Apple, make sure to follow the podcast and leave a 5-star review. And we'll see you next time. Bye.